another eating disorder right now or anymore. And I don't have any plans to going back to that lifestyle. But during that, I also developed other issues with self confidence, self esteem, self love. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like the person I was. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. And it just self loathing. That's the best word I can describe it. I had self loathing for myself. I didn't feel like I was smart enough. I didn't feel like I was pretty enough. I didn't feel like I fit in. I felt awkward. I felt left out. And this was weird because I'll be surrounded, my family's big. Um, there's 5 kids, and of course, our parents. So this was all these people around me, but I felt so lonely. I felt incredibly lonely. And that started my depression, panic attacks, and anxiety out of nowhere. Going through school, high school, college, I was very had had a couple of friends, but I really didn't try to get out there too much. I still stayed in my comfort zone. And I got married, and during that course, since now I'm divorced, but during that marriage, my depression got worse. And I can't really pinpoint any current situation, but those past issues that I never resolved just snowballing, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I didn't have the right coping skills. So my parents and my family always had to deal with it. It was emotion. I was a succubus. I was. I During those moments of my life, I sucked every possible resource, energy, emotion from every single person. And you can't expect that to be like unconditional and indefinite. It has to end. I mean, everyone's a human, not only the person with the condition, but also the people that care for that person. It has to, it can't be forever. Eventually, something's going to give. And with the depression and manic depression, the medication, I've been hospitalized many times. I've had at least 4 suicide attempts because of that self loathing. I did not value anything. I didn't value my life. I didn't value my importance. I didn't value anything. And that's kind of hard for a parent to see their child not value, or even your grandparents not value. They can't, they put so much love and nurture into this being that they brought to the world, and out of nowhere that being that they created from love has so much hate against what they created. You hate yourself so much. And I went through hospitalization, inpatient, outpatient. I went through medication. I went through counseling, psychologist, psychiatrist, everything. And I honestly felt I was losing myself. I no longer was able to think coherent straight lines because I always was in a fog. I mean, it controlled my highs and lows. My high, I'm very, very excited, very, very happy, Wonder Woman, to my crashing lows that I couldn't even get out of bed. I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do any normal, I couldn't get dressed. I refused to take care of myself. I couldn't do just the basic human things. And it took me to hit rock bottom many times. It wasn't just one time. I lost a lot of things. I lost a lot of people that I love. Um, I did things that, I will have to own up to. And I'm working on, I'm trying to make a karma payment plan, as I call it. You can't really beat yourself up for what you were in the past. You can only acknowledge what you did and try to be a better person in the now, in the future. So that's the one thing I do want to put out there in the YouTube universe, is that if you do suffer from a mental illness, and all the people around you that love you, that were always there to support you, they've reached their breaking point, it's okay. They're human. They're allowed to feel, because we're the person with the mental illness, we're allowed to feel what we feel, right? Well, they are too, because again, they can't always be 100% positive when you're constantly the center of attention, negative, positive, regardless of they have to take care of you, they got to worry about you. It's all about love. You know, obviously, family love you, but you have to take accountability. You got to take that power back because that is a really heavy responsibility to think that you have to do this forever to take care of a person with a mental illness that will always constantly have an episode where you know, oh, here we go again. And I was getting to that point that it was a vicious cycle. I would get better, come out of outpatient, get worse. And it was, I was exhausted. I saw the people around me were exhausted, and I had to step away from that to give them a peace of mind and to give myself an opportunity to know one who I was and to love myself. Now, people may not understand the way I went about it or why I did it the way I did it. It doesn't really matter about that part, but I knew that I had to step away, take a, a period, no matter how long it is, a period just to be without any support, just be me and be by myself and me pick up me and me be accountable for me and me be the one to say get your ass up out of the bed and you need to go to work. You need to do what you need to do. I shouldn't have that entourage of people constantly checking on me. I had to take that accountability. And my steps I took was I start meditating. I'm quiet mind, because one thing about being a manic depressive or having severe depression, I would have a million thoughts running in my head, which would cause my insomnia. I couldn't sleep. I'll be up all night trying to solve many problems at once, which would even make me feel even more anxious. So I kind of dabbled in holistic approaches of quieting my mind, accepting my emotions, understanding it's okay to be depressed, it's okay to feel this way, it's okay to have these feelings. However, how do you respond to these feelings? How do you respond to the way you're reacting? How are you participating in the world and into your life? Okay, are you being reclusive or are you trying to be proactive? And it took me many years just to learn that simple sentence. Am I being reclusive or am I trying to be proactive? Am I letting people get to me and push my buttons, or am I building up my self love, my self confidence, my self determination, all those good adjectives and verbs that I had to build myself back up. I had to build a foundation that I had to love myself. And I had to give my support system, my family, people around me, a break from me. I had to give myself a break from that codependent relationship where if I fell apart, I didn't have to worry about it because I knew somebody's going to put me back together. And I had to get rid of that vicious cycle. So I hope that gives you a little snippet. It's a very high overview, but I did want to tell you guys about that, and someone did ask me to make a video about it. So, like I always say, guys, be you, stay true, be naturally seen, and don't let anything or anyone make you feel less than a human, because that's all. We're all human. We all deserve happiness. We all deserve love. Bye.